Mr. Chair and distinguished delegates, as a representative of the University Space Engineering Consortium UNISEC-Global, I am honored to participate online in the 65th session of the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space and make a short statement on the recent activities of UNISEC-Global. UNISEC-Global is a non-profit, non-governmental international organization dedicated to space education with permanent observer status to the committee. Before I address the subject at hand, I want to congratulate a new chairperson of the committee, Mr. Omran Sharaf, for his election. I also must appreciate Mr. Nicholas Hedman, an acting director of the Office for Outer Space Affairs, and his team for organizing the hybrid meeting arrangements. Mr. Chair and distinguished delegates, the purpose of our activities is to help create a world where space science and technology is used by individuals and institutions in every country for peaceful purposes and for the benefit of humankind. For this purpose, UNISEC-Global focuses on disseminating space science and technology, including practical space engineering information to university students and young researchers worldwide, with particular emphasis on enabling spacefaring capability. UNISEC-Global has 23 local chapters so far around the world. Having been patient in pursuit of our goals during the prolonged infectious disease of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are slowly but steadily recovering, moving toward the new normal lifestyle, while we treat and adapt to such a disease. In this sense, we plan to resume our in-person programs in the latter half year of 2022. Mr. Chair and distinguished delegates, let me illustrate a few examples. At first, we plan to restart our annual training program, so-called the Cancer Leader Training Program, in the coming August, returning after a 2-year break. This is a hands-on educational program teaching the entire process of a satellite integration system using a model satellite of the Heptasat kits. Participants will visit Japan to join this 2-week program at the designated training site in the Tokyo area, after taking the online courses in their own countries. After the completion of the program, we expect them to transfer their acquired knowledge to their local community after returning home. Secondly, preparatory arrangements are now underway for the UNISEC-Global meeting, which will take place in Istanbul, Turkey in October this year. The meeting will be held in a hybrid way, together with the 11th Nano-Satellite Symposium and the preliminary workshop for the 8th Mission Idea Contest after a 2-year stint of suspension. I strongly hope that arrangements for this meeting can remain secured and that our committee can travel to this event. We have been organizing a virtual UNISEC-Global meeting every month since the outbreak of COVID-19 in the bid to maintain momentum of the UNISEC-Global Committee. I would say such virtual meetings have been successful, allowing more people to stay informed about the state of space around the world, but in-person events would help us experience something more than exchanging information. Mr. Chair and distinguished delegates, the third point I would like to mention is the Mission Idea Contest, which is to provide university students and young researchers worldwide with an opportunity to present their ideas on nano-microsatellite missions before international experts on an international stage. We plan to hold a polemic workshop during the UNISEC-Global meeting in Istanbul in this October, where selected contestants will receive advice from international experts about their initial ideas on the designated theme of missions by multiple nanosatellites. Both constellation missions and formation flying missions are encouraged to be proposed. Based upon such expert advice, they could improve or sophisticate their ideas for the final round next year. Also, I want to mention our small contribution to the joint program between UNUSA and JAXA. It is called the Kibo Cube Academy, which is a lecture series to provide technical insights for CubeSat and nanosat development. UNISEC has contributed to organizing it in cooperation with JAXA. Anybody can watch it on the UNISA website. Last but not least, I'd like to touch upon ongoing discussion among UNISEC-Global, the University of Tokyo, and relevant bodies about what is called the Space Education Initiative. This program would focus on what are good space educational practices or policies, how to formulate or attain them. I think that this initiative needs discussion at various levels, from people in the space education fields to high-level policy people. We plan to compile the results of these discussions in a compendium. Mr. Chair and distinguished delegates, to conclude my statement, I want to quote an African proverb because it reminds us of the meanings of our activities. If you want to go faster, go alone. If you want to go farther, go together. UNISEC chose to go together because we want to go farther. In the world where no one will be left behind, cooperation and collaboration with compassion are significantly important to enable us to go farther and farther in outer space. Thank you very much for your attention.